So the main focus of this video is to show you how to input data into the TI Nspire calculator and make a variety of very simple, very basic graphs, both quantitative and categorical. So we're going to use the example from the notes, the table that you see up on the screen right now. As it said in the notes, this is a table of 10 people chosen at random from more than 1 million. And it gives just census data about them, their weight, their age, the travel time it takes them to get to work, their highest education level, their gender given as a 1 or a 2, and I'm not going to lie, it doesn't really specify which one is which, so whatever, and then their income of the previous year. So we have a lot of both categorical and quantitative data here on this table. As you can see, we have weight, age, travel time, and income as our quantitative data, and then school and gender given as our categorical data. And the trick here on this, you can see that gender is given as a number, but as you recall from the notes, a categorical data set is something where, one of the ways we define it is it's something that that it makes sense to take an average of or find the mean of. It doesn't really make sense, even though it's numbers, it doesn't really make sense to find the average gender of somebody. That answer doesn't really make sense. So that's why this is a categorical data set. So this is the data set we're using. You all have them hopefully still. If not, take a moment, screenshot that, do what you need to do so you can refer back to it. I have mine here in front of me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our calculator. We're going to open up a new spreadsheet. So, and you can do this in any spreadsheet functionality. There is a way to do this on Google Sheets if you like. There's plenty of tutorials already made. Maybe I'll make one, who knows. So anyway, we're just going to set up our categories. So we have weight, age. Calculators don't like it. This calculator doesn't like it anyway when you have more than one object in a description. So we're just going to shorten everything to one word. So this will be travel, school, gender, and income. Make sure I spell it right. So now's the part of the video which is the most interesting part, where I just input the data. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording for a moment, and we'll jump ahead to when I have the data input. All right, so before we go forward from here, a couple quick pointers. One, if you need to pause the video at any time to type in your own data, that's probably a good idea. Second, I want to note the difference between on the table that we were given. Let's see here. Where are we at? There we go. Travel time to work in minutes. Notice that the first two values are 0 and NA. If you look at, here, let me make it bigger for you. Yeah, so 0 and NA, right? If you look at a calculator, we have 0. I didn't put NA, but notice I also didn't put 0, right? NA is different from 0. 0 is a value that the variable can take. NA is different than 0. NA is meaning we don't have a value. 0 is a value. It's a mathematical value. NA is not. So we just left that blank, and you'll see how that comes into play here in a little bit. So anytime we had an NA, we didn't put a 0, we put just nothing, like NA, not available. So we didn't have an available term for that. On the school, the highest level of school achieved, I made some abbreviations because, like I pointed out earlier, the calculator doesn't really like it very much when we have more than one object. So typing 9th grade would have been some term 9th times some term grade. That's how our calculator would have given it. And we just messed up. So I just made these abbreviations. Say what you want about the gender. I didn't write the question. And then income, here's all our values. So obviously the people who don't have a travel time to work also don't have an income. I think the suggestion is that they don't work, which makes sense for the problem. If you don't work, then you don't have a travel time to get to work. So now that we have all our data input, here's what we do. We push control and then doc. The reason we do that is because above doc it says we want to make a new page. So we push control doc, it says, okay, well, what new page would you like to add? Well, we want to add data and statistics. Now, it takes you here, and there's not really much you can get from this page as it is, so please don't read too much into that. However, you go down here, click to enter or add variable, and you can choose from any of the columns that we had. So I can pick, the first column was what? Weight. So if I want to go by weight, sorry, let's just get this out of the way real quick. Sorry, give me a moment. My view of myself is getting in the way. If I want to go by weight, I can do weight, and it gives me a dot plot. Sorry, my dog distracted me. As was stated in the notes, a dot plot is one of the ways you can display the data. Another way you can do it is a histogram. So I can go menu, plot type, and change this to a histogram very easily, and there's your histogram. Normal probability plot is something we'll get into later. I can also change it to a box and whisker plot, where it will give me my 5-number summary and outliers. But for now, we're just going to stick with dot plot. So I can change my variables based on this. I can go, okay, well, what about age? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. There we go. Got my age. I can do income. So whatever I want, just click on it. It has all my people who don't work here. Somebody who makes a lot, or not very much. $800 in a year. Wow, that's not very good. You got this guy who works, but not very much apparently. And yeah, this guy way over here, almost breaking that top 1%. Props to you there, pal. All right, anyway. But let's get into the categorical, right? So let's talk about gender here in a second. The school. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different values that our highest level of schooling can take. So if we want a bar chart, when we go to plot type now, the calculator already recognizes that this is not a quantitative data set. This is a categorical data set. So all of our quantitative values aren't available. Instead, we can do a bar chart or a pie chart. This is what a bar chart would look like. And then this is what, oops, sorry, my mistake. Get out of that. And then if we push menu again, we can change it to a pie chart. You don't use pie charts too often. Bar charts a lot more useful. But anyway, that's pretty much the gist of it. You can pick a dot plot, histogram, bar chart based on, depending on whether it's a categorical or quantitative data set. And you can adjust as needed. But yeah, if there's any questions or concerns about anything I did or anything you're still confused about, feel free to leave a question in the comments. If I don't address it directly in class, then, or if you're not in my class, then I'll try to respond. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful.